Hey guys, Cdrama Invasion here. Welcome back to another review video. If you're new to my channel, I make a bunch of Chinese drama related content from weekly to bi-weekly news updates and also recommendations, top 10s, and of course reviews like this one. Okay, so let's jump into the double. This is by far probably the most successful and popular-wise. Collectively, I think everybody was waiting for a drama like this to drop. I know as somebody who is a huge fan of Chinese entertainment, I was a little bit more than bummed out with how the start of the year went. We got a couple of dramas here and there, but for real, let's be honest, most of them were okay. They didn't do much, and most of them were forgettable or just bland and disappointing. So coming off the hot heels of my recently reviewed drama, Fox Spirit Matchmaker, Season 1, great cast to sum it up, but just terrible everything else. This was such a breath of fresh air. The double has 40 episodes. It stars Wu Jin Yan, and she's finally back in her element. I really liked her in the story of Yanxi Palace, and that was a 70-episode melodramatic slow burn romance drama. If you love this drama, then do check it out. It's probably her best work. But after that, she didn't really come out with anything new and refreshing or something that would compare to that level until the double. And male lead is Wang XIng Yue. They have a huge age gap in real life. He's like 22 and she is actually 33. So they managed to make sparks fly, and we were all rooting for them, even though it was also what I consider a slow burn. It was done really well. So Wang XIng Yue is an actor I had my eye on since Scent of Time, which came out last year. And he was also in Story of Cunning Palace. He was actually one of my favorite parts of the drama. I thought he brought all those emotions so well, even though he didn't have that many lines. His eyes are so expressive, which is the case here. And over here, it's very soap opera heavy, very in-your-face drama, but I was living for it. This is a revenge story about the female lead who was married, and the family of her husband literally all worked together and ruined her family, and also had the audacity to bury her alive in the mountain. She clawed her way out and was saved by two young women, Jiang Li and Tong, which are played by Aimee, an upcoming actress, and also Yang Xiaoyue. Jiang Li is actually a runaway daughter of this more prominent family from the capital. But unfortunately, she passes away, and our main lead comes in and decides to take on her identity, go back and give them hell, make them pay back for what she suffered and how Jiang Li also suffered for being abandoned by her family in the mountains and dying a horrible, lonely death, which is what the female lead also experiences. So of course this bonds them like no other. She takes in Tong and they go back, assume the new identity. We have Zhou Chen as the evil stepmother character, and by the way, Zhou Chen used to be in so many good dramas as the main lead, so you know I'm getting old when we're seeing her as the evil mom character. She also slayed. I think everybody on the cast, like if we're talking about acting wise, really delivered. So let's just start with the acting. So it was revealed that Wu Jin Yan actually took a 2-year break to focus on improving her acting skills, and I think she really slays because she can cry at a drop of a hat and really sells these angsty, like, betrayal emotions, and you really feel for her. I mean, how can you not? The injustice of it all. I love her line delivery, like the venom and power of her just trying to hold back her emotions, where her whole body shakes in anger sometimes, because she's here for the long run, right? Like her plotting and scheming is great, but a lot of times she just has to be civil, and at first she has to make them believe that she is this girl that's so innocent that was away for like 10, 11, 15 years, and she just came back and she's just trying to blend into society again. So it's really well done, especially when she comes face to face with her ex-husband, Shen Yurong. Both the leads excelled in micro expressions, and so did like the other side characters, specifically her ex-husband, played by Liang Yongqi. Li Meng, Princess Wanning, did such a good job as well. Like all of these people were great, and I think the male lead, Wang XIng Yue, I like that they actually gave him not that much screen time because it was the female's story, and it made more sense for his romance and the way he plays into it to be revealed later on. It made him more mysterious. It really worked out. They gave him a lot of awesome outfits, and he got like this red cape. His fans are always so beautiful. It makes him cool, but like kind of funny at the same time when it had moments where they were flirting back and forth. What I liked about this drama was that it was a true revenge story, and we never lost sight of that, because there's too many dramas where it starts off amazing and then all of a sudden it gets really muddled when the romance gets introduced. And they did such a good job with the slow burn aspect because it doesn't distract from anything else. This reminds me so much of Love Like the Galaxy, which is my obsession. Like the slow burn there is beautifully done, and there were so many parallels, so many that a lot of other people picked up on it, and I saw some edits on like Twitter and stuff. So I was like, okay, I'm not the only one who felt that way about them. The tension was so good. The chemistry is awesome, and I love that his way is just to help her out secretly, and sometimes when he has to stand up for her, he will in front of people, but it never really felt like a damsel in distress moment. Like he always respected her choice, and their back and forth, the mind games, them being each other's pawns and developing into more is just so perfect. The pacing was great, which was something I was so scared about, because a lot of dramas that has good pacing ends up ruining it in like the last few like 5 to 10 episodes, because they realize, oh, we have so many other plot lines and characters that needs to be wrapped up, and this didn't happen. It was pretty consistent throughout, even when it was a little bit more slow and you have the villains talking and scheming. I was here for it. Usually I don't really care too much. I would just skim over those characters because they usually say the same thing. But here, I don't know. It's written in a way where it gets you hooked to every single person. There wasn't too many like alliances or allegiances, so you get confused. I also like that she started getting her wins, like not at the last 2 episodes, but way before that. You see her little wins from conversations, from trying to manipulate or get people on her side and trying to change an outcome of a situation. Like those were so interesting to me, and the buildup of that accumulating to the downfall of some people or the justice of others was just so satisfying. I really liked the school setting little plot where they had the exams and she found her core like friendship squad there. I noticed how much effort and creativity went into those scenes, because in these types of exams and trials, you can clearly just have them, you know, shoot an arrow and it goes wrong or something. Like that was one of the tests, but they have multiple tests, and we spent a lot of times with these characters to care for it. So it was very intense. I was hooked and it felt competitive. What's probably the most compelling is definitely the script and the writing of these characters. You can tell there's so much effort into them because they didn't have to put that much into the, you know, the princess character, which I don't want to spoil what happens, but overall there is more understanding and sympathy with her character eventually. Even though she plays this psychotic princess most of the time and you just want to strangle her, you understand how she got there. And real life people are complicated. So the reveals of the backstory were just so integral to these characters. And then you have Shen Yurong's character, which is so good at the paranoid, guilty behavior, but you also see it in his eyes. There's something off about him, and he's overall written well, but of course the acting matters too, and he really pulled that off. The only cons that I can think of is that they didn't utilize some of these side characters more, and I think that would have changed if they added more episodes, but obviously the cutoff is like around 40 episodes, and this is one that I thought would have been even better, like perfection level, if they gave us another season. Like, these side characters should have got more screen time. They probably got cut off, and they should have been doing more of the plot, like her friends and also the male leads, like bodyguards and stuff. There was so many hints to like a very interesting storylines that didn't get fleshed out fully. You also have like the medicine poison princess girl, and of course the ending. I'm gonna talk about it, so let me give you my rating, and if you want to stay for spoilers, then you can. And if you haven't completed it yet and you're wondering if you should watch it, of course go watch it. I adored it, and there's a reason why it's so popular. I would give this a 9 out of 10. I'm going to start with spoilers in 5 seconds, so come back when you finished it and we'll discuss then. For anyone who wants to discuss the ending, make sure you write like spoilers, like huge tags in the comments below. Spoilers in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, the ending was all right. I felt like it was very quickly slapped together. That ending little special clip, it's 40.5. So I heard the special episode was not supposed to happen, but because it got so much reception online where everybody was just rooting for a happy ending, they decided to go back and film those little scenes of them just way off in the future, but it was just the main leads. And it's nice that they have a daughter and all, but I really wanted to see the aftermath of that. Like, we deserve to see her and him reuniting right after the war, their devastation. They should have mourned for the best friends who died. How did he get out of that situation? Was it the miracle poison princess? Like, what's going on? Some clarification would have been nice. They could have just did like a little flashback of her recounting that day and how they just decided, no, that's it. That's the last time they're gonna be in these like political games and stuff, and that's how they got married, lived a peaceful life for 10 years off the grid. I would be so happy with just an extra 10-15 minutes. Like, just make it one full episode instead of, you know, half an episode's length. That is mainly the reason why I gave it a 9 instead of a 10, because it really felt like a last-ditch effort of the directors and everyone being like, oh crap, they're gonna hate us if we keep it this ending. Yeah, so those are overall my thoughts. Such a good drama after the slump of like the first half of the year. I am a costume drama junkie, so too bad this really satisfied that. I also love the main leads in other projects, so everything was great, except I wish they extended it a little bit more or give us something else. Give us another like special, or director's cut needs to be leaked or something. Like, I hope you enjoyed this one. Make sure to subscribe for more upcoming reviews. I'm currently watching The Princess Royal, and it's been satisfying that romance craving. As for future reviews, I have the Legend of Shenlei video coming up, and soon I'll be talking about some of the upcoming Tencent dramas that they teased at their recent conferences. So stay tuned for more, and I'll see you guys in the next one.